think one of the saddest things that I discovered when I did physician assistant training was that the only things being taught were about disease. And so I had come from being a yoga teacher for 20 years, where the body is a tool to experience rapture and to open portals in unseen layers of the body that connect us with the largeness of the world. And then I did this training where all you were doing was learning one disease after another. And it felt like somebody was just putting one stone on top of you after another. And then you had to stay up for all hours. And it certainly wasn't about making sure that the person who was doing the doctoring was taking care of themselves, at least not during the training. But it was more this kind of like spiritual bereftness, the idea that the body was only about what could go wrong and nothing about what could go right, or even more than right in a way.
It's sick care. It's not health care. It's sick care.
Yeah. And then also it's a very strong system with its own language that does not that thinks of itself as the center. So if you're not speaking its language, you're not necessarily viable. So unless you can do studies on plants that prove that active ingredients in the plant work, then the plant's not effective. And of course you can't really do studies like that because plants also, have roots. They grow in certain soil, and all these soils are different. So you can't get that kind of homogeneous thing. But I did learn very quickly, and I think this was because I already had so much training I studied first the wise woman tradition of herbalism, which focused on nourishment and using herbs for nourishment as herbal infusions. So it wasn't even about fixing necessarily an illness, even though different plants might focus on particular or have an affinity for different areas of the body. But more it was, to give you vitamins and minerals and energy. And so, for example, oats, which, in common parlance, people say, well, oats might help prevent cholesterol or whatever. But in the herb world, it's more that oats tone and are considered almost a tropho-restorative to the nervous system. So they can calm frayed nerve endings. And there's a lot of plants that do this. But in herbal infusion, which is like a strong tea, something that's steeped for a number of hours, it just over time will help calm down a frayed nervous system. And I know quite a few people who just drink a cup before bed to help them sleep better. But those medicines are also gentle. And sometimes if you're too far gone, you need a little bit more bells and whistles as far as an herbal choice. But I know for me that gentle is important because of the way my nervous system is wired. I can't have anything that's particularly stimulating or sedating. Everything has to be nourishing or toning. And what I think is wonderful about that is that the medical field doesn't have anything that can support the body to come back to its natural wellness. And there's something that the herbs carry that can really do that.